What you're going to hear about today is nothing short of a miracle.
Greetings, fourth graders. Welcome back. For Math Lesson 10, you're going to need three things today. You're going to need your math workbooks, you're going to need a nice sharp pencil, and you're also going to need, for the first time, your math journals, the ones with graph paper in them. So if you don't have those things, go get them. I'll just wait patiently. Okay, welcome back. For Math Lesson 10, we're going to stick with addition. In a day or two, we'll get into subtraction, and then by next week, or by the end of this week, we'll be getting pretty close to getting into multiplication full blast. But for now, we're sticking with addition, and most importantly, this lesson is going to talk about changing math problems that are written sideways, number sentences they call them, which are different than story problems, but number sentences where it's this number plus and this number sideways, and stacking them up. Okay, so stacking them up is the way we do our adding, put them on top of each other. But if you're anything like me and have not the very best penmanship in the world, sometimes your numbers get a little too big or a little too sloppy, then you might have had the same problem I have, which is occasionally the numbers won't line up the way they're supposed to. And then you try to add them up and they're not lined up where they should be. The ones column and the tens column aren't in the right spot, or there's an extra number, then your answer is not going to be right. So for today, they're going to have us an exercise of practicing getting things all lined up nice and neat, and that's what the math journal is going to be for. So let's start in the math workbook. Starting on page 18. First part says, find mistakes. When you add, it is important that you add digits, that's these individual numbers, in like places. Well, the way they've written that's a little bit confusing. What they mean is you need to make sure you line them up correctly. It says, look at these addition exercises, and then it goes to show you that they have lined them up incorrectly, right? This is the 43,629 and the 5,807. They've scooted it over this way too far, right? It should be lined up. The 7 and the 9 should be lined up, but they're not. So in this case, you get a 9 and a 0, a 2 and a 7, which messes up the whole thing. And again, they do the same with this one. And again, they do the same with this one. So they're just trying to show you that it's important to line them up correctly, and that's what we're going to do this time. And number 1 says, discuss the mistakes that appear in all three exercises above. We've just done that. So down here, there are 6 chances for you to line them up correctly and then add them. Now, they haven't given us a ton of space here to add them up. If you've got a really small pencil and stuff, it might work out. I want to use this as an opportunity to use our math journal to do the work on this time. So I think if you open up to the very front page of your math journal, you'll have, well, our math on the inside cover. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the answers to these problems, right here in my math journal. So the first question you can see up there is question number 2. So here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to put a big number 2, and then I'm going to put one of these parentheses after it. So I'm separating the number 2 from the rest of my problem. So now they want me to do 2,647 plus 38. So if you have really small penmanship, you could put a number in each box. If you have a nice sharp pencil, 2,647. And then the 38. Just make sure that these last numbers, whatever they are, line up. That's all you have to do for this one, really. So the 8 and the 7 line up, so it's 38. And then I could add it. If you have a little bit bigger penmanship, then maybe you need a couple boxes for each of them. So here's another way you could do it. You could say this is number 2 again, and then it's 2,647. I might use a big box, 2, 6, 47. And then just make sure you're lining them up. 38 down here, there's an 8, and there's a 3. So if you need some more room, that's fine as well. You should be able to get all of these problems on one page. Okay, so start at the top and work your way down. Don't just start in the middle and start writing words down or numbers down. So yeah, you can do either style you want to. If you want to see if you can get them in a small way, great. If you want to use a little bit bigger space, that's fine, but there are lines to kind of help guide you. Either way we do this, 7 plus 8 is going to be 15, 1 up top, 5 down below. 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 1 is 8. 6 plus nothing, 6. 2 plus nothing, 2. And it works the same here. 7 and 8 is 15. 3 and 4 is 7, plus 1 more is 8. 6 comes down, 2 comes down, comma. So either way you want to do it, in a large font or a small font, that's fine with me. So you're going to do the work inside the graph paper. If this isn't handy when you're doing your work, your writing journal will work too, or a separate piece of paper is fine. It'd be cool if we can kind of keep it in here, because then we could go back to it and check it out later if we needed to. So what I need you to do is work through all of these down here. And then the last one says, write an addition word problem that has an answer of 43,568. Okay. Now, there is room to write that here, but if you think about it, when you turn this in, you can take a picture of this page anyway, so it might just make sense to write your story problem on this page. And so let me give you an example of what an addition story problem would look like. Addition word problem, right? So it has to be this plus this equals altogether what's this, right? And we want the answer to be 43,568. So maybe the word problem is, let's see, that's problem number 8. So maybe this is the last one on the page. And I'll say problem 8. And my word problem is a bear had 30,000 jars of honey. Oops, not I, but he. He got, and let's see, my answer has to be 43,568. So that means all that 3,568 is going to be the same. So I'm going to need, he bought 568 more jars. And then we usually end an addition problem by saying altogether, right? We could say, how many jars does he have now? But we're going to use it with altogether, because that's what we've been seeing a lot of. How many jars does he have all to get her? All together. Question mark. That's it. There's an example. A bear had 30,000 jars. He could have, the answer just has to be 43,568. And it actually has a dollar sign there. I'm more worried about the word problem than making it into a money problem. So mine just ends in a number, not a money problem. All right. Now that you have all your answers put in your math journal, take a picture of just that page and upload it to Seesaw. Don't forget, we talked about lighting on Friday and how important it is to get good light on that workbook page so that Mr. Jones and I can see it. Good luck.